Hey there. I want to talk to you today about some really simple ways that you can use everyday practices, everyday activities rather, to cleanse your energy and ground yourself in your space and your body. Specifically today, I'm talking about what you can do to ground yourself after travel. And this can be after travel just to your job during the day. It could be that you had a longer work trip and you're coming back after a few days. Or maybe you just were fortunate enough to take an amazing out of the country trip for yourself with your love, with some friends or family, and you find yourself coming back home and wanting to ground yourself into your space. I was really inspired to share some of the simple ways that I cleanse my energy and ground myself back into my space after a recent one-day trip from work. And I shared this on Instagram in my story. If you're not following me there yet, I love to share stories. They're just super easy for me to talk into my phone and share something really quickly on the story. I got some great feedback from the community there, and so I thought, let me share a bigger, more broad list or share with you today. So just to share a little bit of my story, I came back from a trip this last week, just a one-day jaunt over to Kansas City by plane from St. Louis for my full-time gig. And when I come home, I mean, anytime we are in the air or on wheels in a car, we are in a different kind of energetic centrifugal force, right? Like obviously when you're in the plane, you're completely disconnected from the ground because you are in the air. When you're in a car, you're connected to the ground through the wheels that you're in, that are on the car that you're in. But we're still moving, right? We're moving forward. And there's so much of that moving forward energy in our everyday life that we come home and we can still be moving, right? Like energetically, we can still be moving forward in kind of a momentum. And what can we do to bring ourselves back into ourselves and our space? So one thing that I love to do when I get home is exactly what I just did. Take a big deep breath in, and oftentimes I'll have like a nice, what I call a depressurizing breath. And those exhales, anytime you exhale, whether it is a audible, forceful breath out, or just a nice sigh, exhales naturally ground our energy into the present moment. So that's one super simple thing you can do, whether you travel or not, to ground yourself into your space and into your body anytime you feel forward momentum. If you have a little extra time or you've got space, I also like to have a few yoga poses, a few moments, even like 5 to 10 minutes sometimes, especially if it's late. That might be all I want to grant myself before I go to bed. But doing a few simple forward folds or long lunges where your knee is forward and your back leg is on the ground. I've shown these before. I can show them again. Definitely something we'll do in the release and ground practice. If you're interested in that, I'll share a link in the email. But any sort of coming into yourself pose, like child's pose, I shared that in an email a couple of weeks ago. A way to really ground your energy is to come into yourself. So super simple movement to get back into your body. And you can also do shaking. So I'm actually going to stand up and do this, even though this was not planned. So come on with me. I'm going to move this camera here so we can do this together. And a lot of times if we are coming in from a trip or coming in from a meeting, anytime we feel like our energy has been activated, it can cause, again, more momentum forward. So one way to release that energy is to just shake it up. And you can add a little horsey breath, a little sound, And you don't even have to lift your feet off the floor. I don't think you can see my feet, but you can just keep your feet grounded. If you have a little bit more and you want to lift your feet, go for it. But this is really how you feel in your body. I like to pulse my heels and let my hips shake, and you can hear my voice. And then all the skin just starts to move, and it's just really good for the nervous system, really good for releasing extra energy that we're that's hanging out in our body. Especially if you've been traveling, or you're just in the office, we pick up so much of other people's energy that we're unaware of. And when we don't cleanse it out of our system, then we're carrying that around. So coming back to the ground here. Hello. Now, when you get done with that shaking practice, super simple. You saw you can do that in a few minutes. You can do it even seated, right? Just shake your upper body out. You'll want to just pause and do one of those exhales again. So you breathe in, and then a nice sigh, or a little bit of that depressurizing. Turning the palms down will also help to anchor your energy. That might be enough for you, and that's great. You might be ready to hit stop on this video and move on to the rest of your day. Please do so. Other ways, I'll share a couple more ways that I like to reintegrate to my space. If I come home from a longer trip and I've had people in the house taking care of my dog, I like to tidy up. Many times I'll come home and they'll be just like, things out of order, that I would keep them in the kitchen, maybe just some things, simple things, like maybe the countertop's got some built up dirt or something on it, or maybe there's some dishes that haven't been washed. I'll do the bare minimum to just clean up my space so that as I move back into my home, I'm moving into the home that I live in, right? So like cleaning off that counter, maybe cleaning up a couple of dishes is also clearing out any energy from the people who have been here. In the morning the next day, I like to sage my house or light up a little Palo Santo, which is a beautiful, sweet smelling sacred wood, and clear some energy out that way, open up doors and let the breeze kind of pull energy out for a little bit. And then keeping with the theme of clearing energy, and like I just said, the shaking practice is a really great way to release energy. You can also kind of like energetically wash your body. So you can put your hands together, creating a little energy, and it's the intention of clearing anyone's energy that you picked up that day, and just kind of wash down the front of your body. I like to wash down my arms and the backs of my shoulders and then clap a little and just flick my hands. We do this often in my private client work and in my group class sessions. Afterwards, just like clearing our energy from anyone else's that was in the room, so that we leave in our own kind of bubble of our own energy. Lastly, and one of the greatest things that I love to do after travel to ground myself and cleanse my energy is take a shower. Now, I don't always wash my hair, and that's okay, you don't have to. You can though, if you have time and you want to. But just getting your body underwater, and even just washing your hands, if that's all you do, and your feet, because they touch the dirty airport floor when you're traveling by plane. Washing our body is a really, like, we shower almost every day. So you can begin to ritualize your routine of taking a shower and cleansing your body physically, but also make that into a practice of ritualization. And what do I mean by that? It just means intentioning, creating the intention that you're cleansing your energy. Your personal energetic field is being cleaned when you shower. So not only are you cleaning your body, your physical being, but you're also rinsing away energetic contacts that we all come into contact with being in the world with other humans. And so after that shower, I put on my favorite body butter or my favorite body oil. And so I luxuriate in bringing myself back home to myself, to my body. I'm a Taurus. I love tactile things, and I'm a huge fan of toiletries, and Venus plays a big role in my chart. And so the Venusian energy of beauty and pleasure is just part of my personality. And so that feels really good to me. And it's an added, it's an added tactile, physical, grounding activity to touch your own body with body oil after a shower, or your favorite body butter, and come back into yourself after a day of travel or a day at the office. I hope that you found at least one of these things. I know there was a variety of options, and you don't have to do all of them to clear your energy. But there's probably one thing here that I shared that you were like, oh, cool, I can do that so easily and incorporate that into my everyday life. Just remembering to wash your hands at the end of the day or after a meeting. Not that you don't wash your hands more than at the end of the day, but as a ritual to rinse off your day. Something so easy like that can be energetic maintenance, if you will. So I'd love to hear from you if one or more of these felt like you want to try, or maybe you're doing something else and you want to share it. Feel free to hit reply to the email that this video is attached to, and I'd love to hear from you. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.